how's it going? Happy Wednesday. We're here for our regular Facebook Lives. It's every Wednesday, 4:30 Mountain Time. And today we have a really good topic. It's 5 signs that you know you're ready to buy a float tank for your home, because purchasing a float tank, it is a big buy. It's an investment. And so making that leap and purchasing one, investing in yourself, it's a big decision. So here are 5 just considerations, or not considerations, but 5 signs that you're ready and it's time for you to get your own float tank. So the first one is you float consistently 2 to 4 times a month. So you're already regularly going to a float center, you've seen the benefits, you like the benefits, and you're going so often that you're spending money already. But if you purchase a float tank for your home, you're really making an investment, and all the money that you would be spending at a center or somewhere else is now going into your own item. It's something at your home. You're really getting a return on your investment because you're buying ownership. Sorry, I keep stumbling today. And so if you're consistently floating, that is like a huge sign, and you're going monthly. And it might look like a big upfront cost to get a float tank, but in the long run, if you're already spending that money in a center, you're gonna eventually spend less than you would have at a center, if that makes sense. So if you are paying, most floats are about $50. If you're floating once a week, that's $200 every month. And so it would only take you a year and a half to pay off your Zen tent, which that's pretty awesome. So putting your money into ownership rather than just spending it. The second way you know you're ready is if you have space for it. So a lot of people are either renting homes or they're in an apartment where they can't have a tank. So if you have a house or a condo and you have an extra room for it, or you can make room, we've seen people put them in living rooms, kitchens, in their offices, and depending on where you live and what the weather is like, you can put one in your garage. Actually, the owner of Zen Float Co., he put his in his unfinished basement, and it was perfect. He had space down there, and so that's where he decided to put it, and it worked great. So there's lots of ways that you can fit a float tank in your home. You don't necessarily need a whole other spare room, but just that you're not renting and most likely not in an apartment. So you have the space is the second sign you're ready. The third sign is you don't mind a little maintenance and you will stay up on maintenance. And that can sound intimidating. A float tank might sound like a lot of water care, a lot of cleaning, a lot of replacing water, but it's actually super easy. It takes about 15 minutes every week, and maybe once a month doing a little bit longer maintenance, about 30 minutes just to clean, wipe down the walls. And if you stay up on this weekly maintenance where you're just checking water and salt levels, you won't have to replace your salt and water for up to 2 years. So that's a long time to go, like without doing a big haul, a big replacement. It's just 15 minutes every week. And our owner, he had a float tank in his home and he had a hot tub at the same time. And he said the float tank was much easier to maintain than a hot tub. So it's easier than a pool, it's easier than a hot tub, it's not super scary, and we have other videos on more specific details of float tank maintenance if you are interested in what that looks like. But the fourth sign you're ready to buy a float tank is you don't have a float spa near you. And this used to be a much bigger issue than it is now. I think there are about 600 float centers now, which is amazing. That's a ton. And float centers are great. It's a great way to meet like-minded people. They help you get started in a float practice and get you set up. And yeah, it's a great way to start, but not everyone has access to a float center. Some people have to drive a couple hours. Some people, even if it's near you, it's still a 30-minute drive. So when you're getting one in your home, it's just so much more convenient. You can float whenever you want, and driving is stressful. And sometimes I ruin my float on the drive home because I get so stressed about driving in traffic or just trying to schedule it. So it's just really convenient to have one in your home, and if you don't have access to one, this might be one of your only options to float. So the last sign you are ready is you really want to take your float practice to a new level. You're ready to kick it up a notch and just deepen your float practice. If you want to explore other levels of consciousness, deepen for meditation, if you float for chronic pain and you need it daily, floating at home is a great option. So that's the last sign, is you're ready to take your floating practice to the next level. And the reason it's easier to do that when you have a tank at home than if you're just going to a center is because you do have access to it every single day at any time. So if you wanted to do a daily float practice, you very easily could, which is much more difficult than if you're going to a center. So real quickly, I'll just run through those 5 signs that you're ready to buy a float tank. The first one is you already float consistently at a float spa. Maybe 1 to 4 times a month you're already going. 2 is you have the space for it. 3 is you don't mind a little maintenance and it's really super easy to maintain. 4 is there's not a float spa near you. And lastly, you're just ready to take your float practice to the next level. And something we always like to say is floating is just like going to the gym, so that the more you put into it and the more consistently you go, the more you're gonna get out of it. So if any of those sound like you, then please don't hesitate to reach out. We'll be watching this Facebook video for the rest of forever, so keep commenting even if it's not live. You can email us info@ZenFloatCo, or you can give us a call at 801-871-5140. So thanks everyone, and be sure to tune in next week, Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Bye guys.